Okay, fish people. This video is actually something that I would not wish on my worst enemy. If you look at my tank, you can see it has thinned out tremendously. And just to, long story short, and not to just keep going in circles, my tank, I would say 50% of my tank pretty much crashed and died right before my eyes. My filter that I had in here was starting to like grind and rattle and make all these crazy noises to the point where it was like almost keeping me up because my bedroom is not far from where this tank is at, and I'm like, I cannot deal with this filter that much longer. So I bought a new filter. I need to get, hold on a sec, I gotta move this wire. It is really irking me. Okay, probably ain't get it that much better, but looks a little better. That I'm not a wire person. I was like, I can't do this no more. So I bought a new filter, and I did actually rinse it out, but I don't know if it was good enough. And the thing that I forgot before I put the filter in, I had did a water change a couple of days before. So anybody that knows anything about like the nitrogen cycle of your tank, that was pretty much asking for trouble because it's already somewhat new water. Then I changed the filter, which that means they had to reestablish somewhat, get a bacteria colony in and around the filter. So it was like there wasn't that much of a presence to begin with. So then when I put the new filter in, it seemed like it was leaking because this whole tank turned like a blue-green color, and it was so bad that I came out my room at nighttime and I looked at my tank, and I could tell at nighttime with the lights off that something was wrong because where my tank is at, see it's right by a window. So even at nighttime, my neighbor has her lights on, and I could see my tank even at night. And I looked, I'm like, that doesn't look right. So when I turned the lights on, sure enough, it was this cloudy blue color. So I put some AccuClear in it, to try to clear it, assuming it was because of the filter. But come to find out, when I actually called the fish store and I did some more research, it was a bacteria bloom, and that can happen to anybody. So what I really should have did is just let it sit, and the fish that did not initially die would have 9 times out of 10 they would have came back and survived, and I just assumed the worst. So the only fish that made it, you see my gourami, I got 4 swordtails, but 2 of them were not present in the tank at the time when it did what it did. I had the 2 female swordtails, I had my 2 male swordtails, and then there's 7 Cory catfish. Now, luckily, I had the presence of mind to move some of the other fish. So I moved my panda Cory. He bounced back. I moved him to my bumblebee catfish tank, and I was gonna move him there anyways because of his color. He's like brown and black. In that particular tank, I have tiger barbs in the bumblebee catfish, and they are brown and black. So he matches with the color scheme of that tank. I was gonna move him anyways, but I went ahead and did it to try to save him, and it did work. Now the fish that I lost my pleco, which I just had a video with him in it, and I had a contest on Facebook to kind of help to name him. He's gone. I lost 2 black neon tetras. I lost my checkerboard barb. I lost one of my pepper Corys. The other one I moved to my 15, like as a last ditch effort to like save him. So at first I was going to decommission this whole entire tank and just move the plants somewhere else and start I was like, I'm over it. But now that I see I got a little bit of survivors, I'm going to let it stay as it is. I'm not going to add nothing in. I'm not going to take nothing else out. So for a while, this is just what this tank is going to be. Just basically swordtails and the gourami. And I see the swordtails are like, I don't know, playing or fighting. But my gourami, he'll break that up because I seen him the other day. He was doing something I never seen him do. He's like the boss of the tank. So when they get too crazy, he knows how to settle them down because he charges everybody, and he'll get order back in the house, so to speak. So these are the survivors. Like I said, I was very upset and depressed, but the tank is not dead. It cleared on its own. You see, it's clear again. So when I called the pet store, 'cause I would ask him, could I just drop all these fish off? He said, no, that's the worst thing you could do, because the ones that survived obviously endured the stress and the shock of the water change and the filter change. So moving them again would be the worst thing possible. So these are the survivors. And like I said, I would not wish this on my worst enemy. It was a disaster seeing all those fish floating around at the top all in one day. But it is what it is, and it happens to everyone in the hobby. You'll lose at least one tank at some point. If it's not, it could be like glass breaking or heater failure, something. You can overdose with chemicals. Some people, their oxygen levels get messed up. So I don't feel horrible, but I don't feel great either. But I got survivors. Alright, that's the end of the video of my tank disaster.